If we're not careful, it's easy to lose perspective. Nebuchadnezzar had in a big way. It had all gone to his head. And he builds a 90-foot tall statue with the idea that everyone will bow before it. And when the moment came, it was obvious that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego had not bowed, and so they're called before Nebuchadnezzar. Trials and adversity come into our life for any one of a number of reasons. Sometimes it's as simple as the fact of our inability to comply, to align with others' expectations. So Nebuchadnezzar gives them a choice. I'm going to give you one more chance. You can bow, or we could throw you in the fiery furnace. Their response is not to debate, not to protest, not to make excuses, but rather to express their confidence and reliance in God. In fact, what they say is, we won't even try to defend ourselves. That our God, who we serve, is absolutely, completely able to save us. But even if He doesn't, we won't bow to anyone or anything but our God. Now, the response, as is often the case, is extreme. It's over the top. They heat the furnace up 7 times hotter than normal, as if that was necessary. It's so hot that the guards who throw them into the fire are consumed and killed. But, we often are so distracted when we're in the trial that we don't recognize God. When we go through any trial, God is always with us. And again, we often are so distracted in the trial, by the trial, we don't recognize God there with us. But Nebuchadnezzar does. See, what he sees is not only are they not consumed, but he sees another. And is that the Son of God and they're with them? So he calls them out and he honors them, but he glorifies God. Nebuchadnezzar is impacted in a way that he never would have been by any debate, but rather by seeing God at work, he's impacted in a profound way. And he honors them and honors them for their commitment, but he glorifies God and acknowledges there is no God like the living God who could save in such a way. And ultimately, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego are promoted to even greater positions. But there's an aspect of this that we really like. See, when they came out, they weren't singed. It wasn't even the smell of smoke upon them. They went through it, but it was almost as if there was no evidence they'd ever gone through the trial. It's like it never happened. And we like that. We like that to be the case. But there are times when we do have scars. For us, there was a time, there was a furnace, and I didn't want to face the furnace, but literally, it's God, if I have to face this furnace, be with us, give us a victory, and let us come through this with no evidence it ever happened. Let it be as if you did something amazing and it never happened. But we did come out with scars that remain to this day. And we have this tendency to want to cover up, to camouflage our scars. And those scars come in so many forms: emotional, physical, reputational, and the list goes on. But should we embrace our scars? Jesus endured the shame of the cross, but then upon his resurrection, he chose to carry those scars, that evidence on his body throughout eternity. For all of time, Jesus has chosen to carry that profound evidence of his love for us as scars on his body. Likewise, our scars are evidence of God's confidence in us, that while we may falter, that we may shake a bit, that in the end we would come out reflecting his glory. Is it time for us to embrace, to actually love our scars, not to hide them, but to love our scars, recognize them as evidence of God's profound confidence in you and I?